that sounds good. Alright. Alright, no problem. Man, you know, it's funny, it's actually been a while since I've done this. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, that's right. What kind of problems did that include? Oh, that's not good. Yeah. Why not? True, true. Anyways, I need. Oh, oh, hey, Riley's in the chat. Hey, Riley, can you hear Q? Say something. Can you hear him? Yeah. This is a great way to start a live stream, isn't it? Man. Yeah, oh, you can't hear it. You can't hear. I guess not. Alright. No. Hang on. Let me add this. Let me do this, so. Let me just. Right. Man. He's a friend, don't worry. Fish are Riley's friend, not food. Not yet, anyways. Heh. Okay. Alright, I just added Skype. Yeah. Gee. Can you hear him now? I'm like looking at the live stream, you know, thing in the corner right here, and it's like I'm look like a really bad stop motion puppet or something. Nothing. What? Oh my god. No. Hang on. Let me. God. Yeah. It's like I see it right there on OBS, so it's like how come it's not working? Yeah. Yeah, that one, which just... Alright. Alright. God, what am I missing? Hey, alright. Oh, okay. God. Alright.
Is it working?
Okay, I just added the audio, so maybe this will do something.
Alright. Right, guy, can you hear me now?
Yeah. We've spent 6 minutes dicking around with this.
I mean, to be fair, that's something that a lot of other live stream people do. Dicking around, trying to get everything to work. I mean, I was watching Jerma985's older videos when he streamed 700,000 games,
Wow.
and he had issues trying to zoom in stuff as well as making sure that the computer doesn't crash, all within nearly 8 hours. Well, not really.
Jeez.
16 hours spending all day playing a shovelware game that a grandma could buy for someone thinking that it'd be worth the money.
Okay. Alright, you're heard now.
That's good.
Thank God. Okay, so we've spent 7.5 minutes trying to... Jesus. Say it. Well, okay. Anyways, the actual thing that we actually wanted to discuss. IDW.
Yep. A comic
Boy.
book company under fire.
They've been under fire for a while.
Sure have.
Yeah, and it's rather unfortunate because they used to bring a good product, but lately they've been hiring a lot of the wrong people, and it just keeps on going.
Sadly true, considering just how comics have been of late, from not just IDW, but also from other companies.
Yeah. I mean, it's like before the thing with comics was that, even if some were good or okay, the sales numbers did dip. It wasn't, always the best, way to, best source of income, but at the same time, it's like there was something,
Yep.
you know?
Right.
Now it's like it just seems like it's dying.
Yeah,
That's
and
because
unfortunately, instead of doing the right thing, they just keep on doing the wrong
they
thing.
just double down. Yeah. It's like, I think it's like it all culminated. I actually showed this to Q. Uh, so it's like I'm just strolling through Twitter, just mind my own business, shit posting as well. And then I see that IDW hired, of all people, Zoe Quinn after she helped destroy Vertigo. Now, was she the sole reason it ended? No. No, there are a lot of other factors, like how you'd see staff, even the head of Vertigo, insulting the customers. It's like it's funny. At my job, if I insulted a customer right to their face, I get reprimanded. Like, I get in a lot of trouble. So why the hell don't these guys get in any trouble? Maybe they do, but at the same time, it's like there's nothing. and then you hire con artist Zoe Quinn. Like, really? Hey, I didn't even hear good things about the book she published for Vertigo. And it's like, within a year after Vertigo got relaunched,
Everything just went down the toilet too soon.
yeah, and of course, Vertigo's no more, unfortunately.
Although Zoe Quinn's going to be writing a book about a character that showed up in a Batman Superman comic. I
Yeah,
don't know all the details, but
yeah, she's getting
more than anyone
what?
else is.
Like what? Like, what? Like why?
Yeah, that's why I don't understand. How come the people that have done so much bad shit get all the good stuff, but everybody else gets called out?
Like Frank Miller did so much good. Frank Miller is a legend for a reason. Whether or not you love him or hate him, like you're a certain dweeb with glasses, not gonna name any names, but he also wears a fedora. Like, no matter what people say about, his work on, like, Batman or Daredevil or even his own original stuff like Sin City, there's a reason they kept calling him back, because he knows how to write comics. He knows his shit. And
On top of that, he's also done a lot of iconic work that nobody else can ever have the same impact with.
Yeah.
The only impact they'll ever get is getting called out by other websites or YouTube channels such as Ethan Van Trier
Skyver.
Skyver, my mistake.
Yeah.
Ethan,
Uncle Ethan
Diversity in
is
Comics.
awesome.
They also get called out by Diversity in Comics.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other YouTube channels that aren't happy with the current situation of comics.
It's like, what the hell do they do to get these jobs? Do they have like at IDW, do they also have the casting couch they have at Funimation? Like, what the hell?
Ooh, Funimation.
That's another topic for another day, but at the same time, it's just... what the hell?
You can see the connections.
Yeah. Yeah, but of course, this wasn't the only bad thing IDW ever did. Like, oh boy, James Roberts.
James Tiny Peepee Roberts.
Yeah, he does have a tiny peepee. It's like he co-wrote Last Stand of the Wreckers. Hey, that's a great book. That was a great book. And
yeah, it was one of IDW's best Transformers comics to date.
Yeah, it's like it's almost the instant when it felt like when IDW introduced Star Saber in that one issue of Lost Light. It felt like at that point, it was jumping the shark when everything just went downhill. Yeah, I don't know why. Although there was other things before that, like RC's origin in IDW. Like, really?
Just plain weird. Like, I understand that I understand they wanted to try and explain gender in Transformers, but even then, it doesn't work like that.
Like okay, the whole thing with Camus. Okay, you want a female, like a planet full of that's only female Transformers. Okay, fine, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But then they made it the only planet that has female Transformers on it, and RC was the subject of of basically mutilation. G-Axis mutilated her.
Yeah, I got no words on that. Also, she's the brother of Galvatron.
Yeah. Which...
I'm fine if Galvatron and Megatron have to be separate characters, but that's just one of the weirdest things to do.
It was definitely... I mean, it was an interesting idea, but did we have to have... But did it have to have, like, the freaking mutilation? I don't know. I don't I don't see why it did. It, kind of felt like they needed some shock in there, like, oh my god, look at what G-Axis is doing. It's like it's the Middle East or something.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop there with the gender swap.
Yeah. Yeah, a note in lug, thank you, James Roberts, for that. It's like Haldo and Rose Tico.
Oh god, those two Star Wars characters.
Yeah. The two characters that somehow made Jar Jar Binks look competent, and then they made L337.
Yeah, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah. Like, uh,
But still, the gender swap thing, should it really be a gimmick? Like, it's the only thing that people only talk about and will praise because there's nothing else to talk about with this shit.
although it's because of that why RC and IDW is basically a psychopath. She got, because in the G1 cartoon she was, oh good, and of course, the girl in the group, and now she's just.
She was also pretty good in the Marvel comics.
She was.
But not quite as prominent as someone like Circuit Breaker.
Yeah. But of course, when they brought Star Saber in, like, apparently James Roberts, before he was at IDW, was a Transformers fan fiction writer. And apparently, having Star Saber, one of the most coveted Japanese only Transformers, make him into some kind of religious freak. Why?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like I can't think of a good comparison, if I'm honest, but I just don't understand why Star Saber, especially given his goody two-shoe nature in Japan.
Like, okay, they made fun of Thunderclash's goody two-shoe things, from his old G1 bio, so it's like, why not keep doing that, I thought this was supposed to be, I thought IDW was usually a little more on the nose, trying to avoid cliches, which seemed to be the trend in the 2010s, although now that we're nearing the end of this decade, that itself feels like a cliche.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is kind of minor, but something that always bothered me about IDW is that while they did establish, a lot of their own things, Caminus and whatnot, they never did anything like the Headmasters or the Brainmasters.
Yep.
It's like you just avoid adapting this stuff that's already in Transformers lore. I don't know, especially considering that most of the time they just dicked around in space, when it came to more than meets the eye. And
Well, I was going to mention you have like a headmaster, but not someone that was traditionally a headmaster.
Yeah.
Sunstreaker.
Yeah, and of course, Chrome Dome and Brains. I almost said Brains. Yeah, Brainstorm. It's
That's
like
right.
they're there, but they're not headmasters. And same goes for Nightbeat. Like, I don't know. That could have been an interesting issue if they did a headmaster story and more than meets the eye. But of course, they'll never be able to because that continuity has ended because James Roberts can't fucking write and would rather push his own political agenda in his books for some reason.
And that, my friends, is why we got IDW2, aka Siege Formers.
Yeah, it is all bit. I will say this, from what I've read, it is kind of neat what they're trying to do with the whole backstory of the Decepticons and how everything formed, because another thing with IDW is that I think they ended the war too early. I honestly do. Now, yes, is there only so much you can do when it comes to a civil war between the Autobots and the Decepticons? Yeah. But there was just more that they could have done. Like, of course, the whole thing with headmasters and whatnot. But they didn't.
Yeah. At least give us like some Decepticons that want to continue the battle if the others are dead.
Yeah, and of course,
Like
you
the
know,
Japanese
they
continuities.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Age of Extinction continued the war by having Megatron's head hack into Galvatron's body.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
RID 2015. Call the show vanilla all you want, but at least it brought in new characters and also brought in some of the old guys too.
yeah, and actually gave an explanation as to why, you know, all this shit's still going on.
Yep.
Hey, it just seems like blown out. Oh god, and Megatron becoming an Autobot because he's misunderstood.
Misunderstood emo boy.
Hi, Teresa.
Yeah.
I, I just gave someone a shout out in the chat.
Not a bad thing to do.
Yeah,
Nice to see
exactly.
more people pop in.
Oh yeah.
But Autobot Megatron. Why?
It's like now Megatron's a misunderstood emo kid.
Like the thing is with Megatron is that
It's like,
he's a guy that
God.
always wanted power. Depending on the continuity, he grew as either a gladiator or someone that wanted to
Yeah,
oppress the others.
yeah. It's like he wants
So,
peace, but he still wants to be the top dog.
and no one can question him.
And now he's like, oh, I'm past my old ways, which I swear I saw with, an episode of Powerpuff Girls as a kid, and many other things, but, you know.
Oh yeah, and there's also the fact that I kind of felt that was way too fast, came out of nowhere, and just happened only because of Bumblebee's death.
Yeah, which, did Megatron really have that much of a connection to Bumblebee?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
No
I
one cared.
honestly, I
Like, okay,
didn't even know.
in other universes, he did, but only because he tore off the voice box of Bumblebee in the movies or in Prime or Cyberverse. But in IDW, I don't recall there being a connection.
I don't know, maybe there was and we missed something, but
Not worth
Autobot
anyone's time
Megatron,
at
like
this
that
point.
is the most fanficky thing ever. Autobot Megatron. Megatron
Like,
is an
okay,
Autobot.
what were they trying to do? Were they trying to like do the opposite of Orion Pax on Transformers Prime
Yeah,
when he lost his memory and temporarily became a Decepticon
I
because he
don't
didn't know any better?
like I know in Armada Starscream was temporarily aligned with the Autobots, but that's because he didn't like the direction that Megatron was heading in. Because
Yeah, he's not as pure evil as Megatron.
yeah, yeah, it's like Starscream wants peace, but of course he doesn't like the way Megatron's trying to pull it off.
And on top of that, there was also a time where they temporarily worked together.
Yeah, exactly. Joining together to fight off Unicron. It's
That's
like,
what
yeah,
works with the Autobots and Decepticons, setting aside their differences.
yeah,
Of course,
for
they're
the
going to come
greater
back and
good.
fight another day, but when there's a much larger threat, they got to team up for once.
Yeah, and it's like in that show, it took Starscream's death to make Galvatron realize, you know what? Maybe there is something to aligning with the Autobots, even if it's temporary.
That's right.
And it's like, that was one of his guys, the guy who was there since the beginning with him, but here,
Nothing at
yeah,
all.
uh,
Although there are like some really okay. Since we're talking about IDW, Armada and IDW, can we talk about the other characters in other universes?
sure, why not?
Like, I don't understand why we have to have Beast Wars characters next to the G1 characters simultaneously, or
It
Armada
is kind of
characters.
jarring, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. Like, especially when there was an IDW Beast Wars comic going on around the same time.
Yep, that's right.
I
Uh,
mean, it did give us stuff like Tarantulas blowing up Roadbuster's head. I mean, that was kind of cool, if not creepy. But You know, it
That's
did just
tarantulas
seem
for you.
off. Yeah, it just seemed off. You know,
Sure was.
uh, I don't know. It's like, you know, a lot of people were just really ready to accept it. Me, eh.
Oh yeah, and there's also how they treated Hotshot.
Yeah, it's like, you know, oh, this is a G1 comic. Then what's Prime
Oh, it's
Knockout
not.
doing here? What's Arachnid doing here? Why is
Strong
Tidal
Arm
Wave
from
here? Yeah, why is
Strong Arm
Strong
from
Arm here?
RID.
Yeah, where? Why is Strong Arm? Why is Starscream in his Armada costume? Don't. It's like, don't give me that. Don't give me that shit.
I'm sure they continued. Oh yeah, there's also Bulkhead from Transformers Prime.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey,
Like if you're gonna do a multiverse comic, make one.
yeah, or it's like, you know, you say it's a G1 comic, but then you put pluck characters in that came from other continuities into this to say, oh, it's their G1 versions. It's like, shut up. Like, you got Lockdown in here. And
Even though
last
he's
I
based
checked,
on his,
Lockdown wasn't from G1.
of course not. He's an animated character. Then he had a Revenge of the Fallen toy and had his own unique design in Age of Extinction.
Which,
Never in G1.
uh, honestly, when Age of Extinction came out, I was like, I kind of miss the spikiness that he had. But at least he was really tall.
Yeah, I guess it was trying to make him look like a fancy man in a suit.
Yeah, I
Kind of like
guess.
a contradiction between appearances. Like what I
Uh,
mean is, Animated Lockdown, spiky like a movie character compared to
yeah,
everybody else. AoE Lockdown, more streamlined compared to everybody else. Well, in terms of Decepticons at least.
yeah.
But yeah, back to IDW. Uh, yeah, I still don't understand why they keep on saying that it's their G1 versions. And then there's TF Wiki saying something like, "Oh, there's no Generation Strong Arm, but at least you can buy the RID version."
Jeez.
Well, I'm noticing that my Skype screen isn't present in the thing.
Yeah. From what I can tell, people can still hear you. I mean, I've still got it there, so.
Okay,
No, I hope people can still hear you.
all
Otherwise,
right,
it just looks like I'm talking to myself.
yeah, but still, I just don't understand the logic with IDW. And of
Yeah.
course, there's also people that don't you they would go, "Don't you dare criticize this," but they
Yeah, fanboys of IDW are very, very dedicated. Okay, people can still hear you, thank God.
thanks, Right Guy.
Yeah, I got worried there.
But
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
people get very up in arms, and then, you know, we'll be very quick to, you know, trash the movies. Which, I mean, is there
or
stuff to criticize about the movies? Yes, but there's also stuff to criticize when it comes to the IDW continuity as well.
like in general, there's stuff to criticize about anything else Transformers related,
Yeah,
but like I thought like people that would go after or that don't like the cartoon would get trashed immediately, but it's IDW fans that get more defensive. I'm not sure if anybody else heard about my experiences being with fans of IDW that sort of were confused when I said I don't like them.
yeah.
But long story short, I was in a Google Plus server. Yes, that was a thing back then before it died. I had people that were IDW fans that were confused about me not liking IDW, and some of them got a bit mad, especially when we went to Discord at one point. My other Discord server, not the one that's not my Discord server, the one that was had some other kids whose names shall not be mentioned, but you probably know what I mean.
Yeah, undesirables.
Yep, one of them was like posting gifs about the movie characters being slaughtered in the films, but got a bit too annoyed when somebody doesn't like the IDW stuff. But that's for another day. Maybe, I'm not sure.
You know,
Long story
let's
cut short,
make it today. Why not?
yeah, like those guys are just super annoyed, especially that one kid that used to be a moderator getting mad just because uh, you have the image, right? that I sent you.
Yeah.
There's an image that somebody screen capped for me about Rung getting deformed and having the caption "False God," like from the statue in Batman v Superman, but for a different purpose. That was made to make fun of Rung being Primus. Like, I can agree with him that Primus now becoming Rung was stupid. It's like, why? Are they trying to make some sort of homage to Yoda, a small guy with a lot of power?
Shrug.
Yeah, that's all I can come up with, too. Then the guy got so mad, and he censored the mod's name, saying that, oh, I can't believe she would post this. I tried to make a Transformer server that has all communities being equally treated, but then there's this. He got in trouble with people, and he stepped down.
This is. Man.
So remember, kids, don't trash IDW before people get mad at you.
Yeah.
I mean, all I can say is to each his own, but at the same time, don't be like that kid that got mad at the moderators.
God.
Alright, so what else can we talk about with Transformers?
Well, IDW 2 I'm hopeful for. At least this guy seems like he cares about his craft. James Roberts is... Well, let's just say I'm glad that he willingly stepped down to not write IDW 2 Transformers. But at the same time, it's like looking at his Twitter makes me want to shoot myself.
What's he doing?
Virtue signaling. He loves virtue signaling because, some 40-year-old, with his little profile pic like this, like in the mirror, like taking a selfie. Yeah, that's like...
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, you look like the most privileged douchebag on the planet. Second of all, it's not even that good advice. It's not even good virtue signaling. It's like, basically, I'm so against this, and I'm trying not to get too political, but it's like,
Yeah, I hear you.
I sound horrible me trying to censor myself doesn't sound great. It sounds like Kellen Winslow saying, I don't give a hell, instead of, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
True story.
Like, people went after other people in comics, like Pat Lee, just because of his art style, but at least he knew how to write stories.
Yeah, it's like Pat Lee, I kind of dig the anime look to his art style. The
manga?
problem with Pat Lee was Pat Lee. He was very irresponsible with money and just how Dreamwave was financed. It's like that's what killed Pat Lee.
It's a shame too because it's a shame because there was like a lot of potential for any canceled storylines that would have been made.
Yeah, it's like remember the Energon comic got canceled during its run because Dreamwave went bankrupt. And that was a pretty damn good comic, and, well, I'm gonna say this right now, definitely what the anime should have been.
Yep. It's a shame that the old days of that kind of comic aesthetic, like just the 2000s in general for Transformers, is long gone. Hype was real and all that shit. But yeah, remember, don't be like IDW, especially when they're going to be doing all that SJW crap.
Yeah. It's like, it's such a turnoff. Like, when I read comics, I want to, escape. Not basically read the newspaper or something. Like, it's gotta be, just be an escape from reality. A fantasy, not have someone just drone on about whatever stupid ass problems they have because no one else cares.
It's exactly. we can say that the X-Men, the older X-Men comics, at least did something good about trying to be, can we say, smart with the real world?
Yeah, at least
Or
that was a little more subtle.
yeah,
Here it's like
subtlety
subtle. What's
matters.
that? Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's okay for Spider-Man to tell a kid that they shouldn't be bullying others, but they don't want them to like turn to the screen or turn to the reader and tell them to not vote for this or not vote for that.
Yeah.
Orange Man bad.
Sounds like
Speaking of
Jello
Orange Man,
Apocalypse.
and also whoever made fun of the Thing, the big blue-eyed lovable Thing of all people, getting that nickname.
Mm.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Transformers didn't stop, or we don't stop here with the Transformer stuff. IDW's done a bunch of other stupid shit too.
Yeah.
Oh boy, where do we start? G.I. Joe?
Oh god. Okay, Aubrey Sitterson. You hire an anarcho-communist to write G.I. Joe, which would not have been that bad, but he was more concerned about pushing what he wanted. And also, isn't it kind of terrible that he has Roadblock basically be Scarlet's pet? It's like, really, you do that to the black guy? Like,
Oh
seriously?
god.
Seriously?
Like, it's like they don't know
He's
what to do by now.
useless. Yeah.
It's almost like them, like it's like that meme with that kid, that anime kid, like holding his hand out to a butterfly. It's like you put that character's
Is this
face.
progressive?
Is that's what I was about to say, but yeah, that's accurate right there. That's pure accurate, and it's a fucking shame that that's all these morons at IDW think of.
And also, I can't remember which G.I. Joe character it was, but he used to be this bald white guy, but they couldn't have that in because for some reason he looked like a Nazi, which I guess by that
What?
logic, Mr. Clean looks like one. So they replaced him with this
By that
obese
logic,
Samoan woman.
by that
Guess, yeah,
logic,
that's what the
Professor X
military
looks like a
needs.
Nazi.
Yeah.
By that logic, Lex Luthor looks like a Nazi.
Hey,
Like, what's the
it's
what's the
what do you have a
logic there?
problem
All
with
he is,
bald people? What are you, a
yeah.
baldophobe? That's not a thing, is it?
I hope it's not.
God, I hope it's that. That would just.
Like that'd be something that the Onion or the Guardian or Twitter would put up. Fucking
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter's a joke. Of course, YouTube's also a
It's
joke if
comedy.
you've been following what's going on there, but story for another
Can't.
day.
Yeah.
More like
So overall,
Tube. Hey.
so yeah, overall, G.I. Joe at IDW gone down the toilet too.
Yeah, and it's like of course, Aubrey Sitterson had to tweet, only the people who were in Lower Manhattan on September 11th can actually feel the pain that was felt that day. And of course, no G.I. Joe site wanted to promote the book after that period. It's like you gotta make people be responsible for their actions.
Exactly.
It's like, once again, going back to what I said at the beginning, how come I can get in trouble for the smallest thing, and yet these guys basically shit on people's front doorsteps, and it's basically okay? Or there's just
Must
no
be them getting on
repercussions.
the. Probably must have to do with like SJWs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to say this without sounding nasty, but it must be just because of gender or race.
It's like, I don't care what someone's gender is as long as they're a good person and also competent in what they do, then fine. If you could be the straightest, whitest guy on the planet, but if you suck, you suck.
What matters is the actions of a person.
Yeah. Exactly. And yet,
Like,
people
a gender,
can't do that.
like a gender or a race does not matter for a person to be involved with something. What matters is what they've done. If you can save a puppy, or if you can save a person from a fire, then that's good, regardless of who you are.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, comic book companies forget about that.
Yeah, it's like, can we just go back to writing good stories that people want to read? I miss
Yep.
the days of like DC's New 52, where the big problem was just that a lot of them were just shit. They weren't that well thought out. I miss
And
those
also,
days.
Batman's suit not looking that great. Trying to look like armor, but at the same time looks like weird N64 graphic muscles.
Yeah. I mean, it's like with the New 52, it was about time to get rid of the underwear on the outside, so, I
Yeah,
guess there's
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, that makes
Then there's
sense.
also like a more logical issue with IDW back then would have been like all hail Megatron, and
Yeah.
they made all the continuity errors, but making everybody look like how it did back in G1.
Yeah, All Hail Megatron. It's like that's an IDW book that people do universally agree is bad, and it actually is. I mean, it is nice and violent, but you know, again, just a lot of people for it came off as shock value, and of course, introduced drift in the most inspirational, uninspired way possible, I should say. And
Yeah,
down to
though
the
he has
fact
been.
that he was basically a Mary Sue.
I mean, at least, and like I'm not sure if he's been changed like that, but I'm glad he isn't a Mary Sue
They at
elsewhere.
least developed him. Yeah.
And at least in AOE and RID, he's better
Yeah.
by not being a Mary Sue, but still, introduction was a bit rough, although
They gave
still
him a
better than
little
what we
more.
got.
They gave him just a little more. Like at least have him be a sensei
Right.
instead of just the biggest weeboo on Cybertron. Because that was what he was. He was a
Yep.
freaking weeaboo.
All
And
we
yeah,
need is just all those like splash pages that
all
replicate manga.
you know what else was missing? He's got a spiky head. All that's missing is that his head changes color when he's getting more powerful, like Goku or Vegeta.
Or you can use like a more Gundam style head design.
Yeah, I hear Shattered Glass Drift is more like Deadpool, which I guess is
Yeah.
neat. Although at the same time, that was just FunPub plucking the personality of one character and dropping it into another. But I guess that is kind of the idea of Shattered Glass. But well, that's also FunPub, so that's completely different.
You can say FunPub's got more imagination than IDW's got. Then again, that's just them taking already existing media and twisting it, but in a good way, not in a really bad, misunderstood emo kid way.
They did kind of flop it with Beast Wars Uprising, which did end up leading to their downfall and losing the rights to the Transformers.
And of course, the death of BotCon.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Oh,
still,
well.
Better than what we got from IDW.
Yeah. So, you got anything else to say about IDW?
Judge Dredd putting in Donald Trump out of nowhere. Yeah. Man,
that's random.
But then again, that's how I feel about it. It's super random. Like, okay, I can understand that people, whether or not they like him or hate him, that's fine if they support him or not. But why put him in fiction?
I will say, doesn't Dredd take place in an apocalyptic future?
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Why'd they cryogenically freeze Donald Trump just so Dredd could punch him?
My guess is they probably wanted to have Trump be responsible for that because Orange Man bad.
But Dredd came out when Clinton was president?
My guess is yes, he probably came from like a time period from the 80s or 90s, if I recall correctly. Allow me to do some research. Still,
Yeah, cause like, you know, just that just seems a bit off, and honestly feels more like one of those things where instead of posting it on their Tumblrs, they actually published it.
oh, he appeared in 1977.
Okay, so that would have been, I think, Jimmy Carter. Yeah,
Most
I think,
likely.
yeah, that was Jimmy Carter who was president. Because of course, what did Jimmy Carter bring? Well, okay, it didn't. Okay, maybe not necessarily, but happened when he was in office. The oil crisis.
Yeah, so that probably led to the apocalypse in a way. Like
Ah,
that would be kind of like it's just so weird to have to bring in real world presidents involved with this shit.
well, more. Well, not just that. Just you know, okay, bringing in real world issues. If you're at least subtle about it, then okay. But it's like
Right.
it too many times. It's way too on the nose and just takes you out of the experience and just makes
Like
you feel
nobody
more annoyed than anything.
like nobody wants to see somebody call out Donald Trump, just like nobody wants to see Obama get sucked on.
I
Like
actually remember this episode of Osomatsu-san where they kind of mock Obama, and it's just randomly out of nowhere where Obama gets called and he says that the way to fix an economic crisis is hot dogs. It's like
thanks,
Jesus
Obama.
Christ. It's like is this a jab at Americans?
Probably seems like it.
Yes, it felt like they were. Yeah, it felt like some weird jab at Americans. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just one of those
Thanks,
things.
Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Still, just the inclusion of Trump in the Judge Dredd comic just seems out of nowhere.
It
Like
does.
they didn't even try to change his appearance. He looks exactly like how he would in those. Uh,
So they did cryogenically freeze him.
like he looks exactly like how you'd see him in those political cartoons.
Like I said,
Which
feels like someone just took something from their Tumblr but accidentally published it.
yeah, oh IDW, you're getting your shit mixed up. Can we please have somebody that writes Tumblr stuff get fired so we can have a real comic artist and a real comic writer?
No, we can't
No,
have
we
new
can't do that.
fans. Like, honestly, it's like, you can start on Tumblr and DeviantArt and whatever, and then, get into the comic industry, but at that point, it's like, you also gotta kind of change your whole work ethic and whatnot. Like, you gotta
Yep.
get out of the fanfic mindset and into what would work in this universe. Because, like,
Yep.
that Netflix She-Ra show, it's Star Wars fan fiction with a She-Ra paint job.
Oh God.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I forget about that
yeah,
shit. Especially like
Hordak's more like Vader, frankly.
yeah. I kind of remember watching your video about She-Ra
Yeah,
months ago.
there's been season 2 and 3, but I'm sticking to the promise I made in that video. It's like I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna give it, the attention. Although of course I'm mentioning it, so I'm inadvertently giving it attention. But fuck it. And from
Yeah.
what I and reading the plot summaries on Wikipedia, it just sounds like it's just dragging its feet. Which, yeah, that's very exciting, as if it wasn't already unexciting to begin with.
Yeah. Let's set about. I can't think of a good pun. What's her face? The better.
Hmm?
Let's set about. Um,
She-Ra.
yeah, Pira the better.
Pira.
I can't think of a good pun for that stupid show. But yeah, less about it, the better.
Although
Now let's
someone should
continue.
give She-Ra some steroids so she can at least look a little muscular. She-roids?
She-roids.
She-roids.
Now we're gonna have to put on like the pronouns on Twitter's profiles.
Oh, like James Roberts.
Yeah. Can we put like pronouns for his pee-pee? It's smells like piss.
Jeez.
But yeah, hate that stuff.
Yeah.
And what else can we got from IDW? I think the rest of their stuff's all right. Sonic, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything particularly awful about those, so I guess it's safe. I don't know. Maybe then I'll, type it into Google and be proven wrong.
Then there's also like the rest of the Hasbro universe that crossed over with Transformers.
Yeah.
Rom the Space Knight, Mask.
Mask, G.I. Joe, Transformers. Trying to think what else.
Visionaries.
Yeah.
Like, I think the point of those comics was to probably try and see how people would react to Hasbro properties crossing over. Maybe for like a movie or something, but I don't know.
I know there was always talk about the Michael Bay movies crossing over with the live-action G.I. Joe movies.
Sadly, not happening right now.
No, that's definitely not going to happen.
It'd be a shame, especially if the IDW stuff isn't great.
Yeah.
But at least we had the Marvel comics from way back then.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
And back to our good old friend Zoe Quinn. She's going to be writing a book for... Yeah, I know how you feel.
I know.
I do the same thing too, but gotta hold in the stuff. But like,
I know.
Zoe Quinn will be writing a comic for the Addams Family.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that. I'm not gonna buy it. Not buying it at all, because honestly, I wouldn't support something like that.
Well, there's a siren going on. Perhaps it's
Yes,
Ratchet trying to. Perhaps it's Ratchet trying to look for Rung and like arrest him or something. He's not a cop.
Yeah, Rung was just a waste of a character.
Yeah, we already mentioned how bad he is.
Yeah, and then for Siege they have a Rung figure. That's gonna be the only thing I'll ever skip over in the Siege line.
I'll probably buy it just so I can make fun of him in the videos. Well, if I get off my lazy ass and make a fucking video.
I'm just not gonna buy it because that would show that I care about Rung, and I don't.
On second thought, maybe I'll not buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna save my money for another Target Master that's more worth the money.
Like
Singe. The Hammer guy. Singe, yes.
Yeah, his wave
and
Singe is more worth it.
Yeah. And now we're talking about what we want to buy. Yeah. But let's get back to why Zoe Quinn won't work for the Addams Family. Her writing style doesn't fit for a series like the Addams Family.
Yeah, I don't imagine her writing for families.
Yeah. I mean, what's next? Are we going to get a comic about Friends that involves her writing it? Family Matters, Full House? Stuff that's going to be twisted just for the sake of a political agenda. Or it'll just likely be some sort of tie-in for a remaster of her stupid game she put on Steam once.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, that game.
Yeah, I have no words. I can't stand games like that. But in general, family-friendly stuff not really fit for purpose when you have Zoe Quinn writing it.
Nope.
Though I guess it is trying to tie in with that Addams Family movie, which, how do I put it lightly, isn't a movie I plan on watching because, well, I'm not a super huge fan of the Addams Family, and
Really?
like I do like the old show, but I haven't caught up with the other stuff. Like I'm sure there's an animated cartoon, but I always kind of prefer the old TV show.
Alright, fair enough. I mean, it's like, I like the Addams Family, and it does look like something I want to watch.
Yeah, I'll probably give it a shot. More worth, and the movie is more worth my time. Now that you mentioned it, than Hoey Quinn.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I can't. Yeah, Five Guys, Hoey Quinn, and yeah. What else can be said about a comic drawn by her? A woman that's got a man to commit suicide.
Gee.
Yep. Remember, people, don't be like Zoe Quinn. Won't be worth it.
No. Yeah. Anyways, I think I got out everything I wanted to say.
Yep.
Alright.
Well, guys, it's been great to do a live stream. May have been a bit short, but please keep in touch with Ernie's videos. I'm sure he's got some other stuff coming soon.
Yep, and I just realized I forgot to put a link to your channel in the description.
Oops. Not a bad thing.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Follow me on YouTube and subscribe to my channel on YouTube, although I haven't made much videos, and most of my older videos are shit, but still were the lulz worthy thing to watch.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, look at how much we've changed. Going from as we went from cringy preteens to adults that feel like we want to shoot ourselves when we see James Roberts' pee-pee. Yeah, I'll be making videos at some point. Stop motions.
I've still got
videos
stuff in the pipeline, so it's not like I'm completely dead. And hey, I'm done with school, so it's not like that's a factor anymore.
I'll be posting stuff about me in Chicago, downtown, home sweet home. Make some stop motions. That's right. Make some stop motions, and probably do some shit posts as I have the ability to do so.
Alright. Well, and to each and every one, goodbye.